if it makes them money, then so be it. Everybody's got their own thing. I hope it's him cutting a heel promo, because the way women's wrestling is right now and the upswing that it is on, I feel that the promo has no consistency to it.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do, because we're going to be at that convention, and because I'm a jerk like that. If Honky Tonk Man happens to be at the convention as well, which a lot more times than not they all are. Jimmy Hart's whole clan is usually there. I'm going to ask Greg, with Honky Tonk paying attention, how come he feels the way he does about women's wrestling when his good boy over there, Honky Tonk Man, used to have Peggy Sue, a.k.a. Sensational Sherry, chaperone him to the ring?
Yep. but I know exactly what his response is going to be, though. Is that's not women's wrestling. That's valets.
Oh, that's valet. Oh.
That's exactly what I mean. If I had to look at it that way, that's how I would look at it. Is him saying something like, "Well, that's a valet. That's my escort to the ring. That's not wrestling."
I personally think Greg Valentine's going to have a little bit less to say. He's probably going to look at me. He's going to have this smirk on his face like he normally does, and he's probably going to go, "Dude, F yourself."
Yep. Or he's going to have you escorted out of the building.
No. I'm good with Greg Valentine, because we're the station's really good friends with his compadre Andrew Anderson. So yeah, I'll probably catch heat for it, but it's all good. It's all good and fun, because you have, if this is a heel promo like Felix suggested, then you got to have a little fun twisting it around and putting it back in his lap. So it's all good. Okay, let's go on to another rumor that's been going around the internet. The original plan, supposedly, for the Divas Championship was to have Charlotte come in immediately and take the title from Nikki. This was supposedly nixed by Nikki's boyfriend, the United States Heavyweight Champion John Cena. And the rest of the plan was Charlotte defeats Nikki, Becky Lynch and Sasha, they take out the rest of Team Bella, and it starts this whole, Diva Revolution. But because John Cena stepped in, they did this whole thing with Paige, Charlotte, and Becky, and now you have this 9-women group, 3 groups of 3, and now they're all in this match tonight. This is the result, supposedly, of John Cena stepping in and defending his girlfriend. Do you think, I'm going to start, Felix, with you first, do you think John Cena has enough creative control over Nikki to cause the whole change of plans?
Absolutely. He absolutely does, because people don't want to buy into it because he's such a cash cow with the WWE. He's making them millions of dollars.
Yes.
That nobody would ever suspect that he would go to bat for his girlfriend up 3 years now. And yeah, I do believe that. I think it's stupid, but I from a business standpoint, I understand why they're doing it.
Now, do you think this is, and I'm going to put the air quotes when I say it, do you think this is what's best for business?
No, I don't, because I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of the Bellas, either one of them. They're done to me. If I had my wish, Karma would have squashed them, and she had a 10.
Which, we had Karma on this show, and I specifically asked her if she was going to keep her promise. And she told me that she couldn't answer that question at this time. So, who knows? Nick, what's your feel on this?
I want to go into real quick just the whole, how they have it booked right now. Whether John actually was the one that caused the change or not, I do like the booking that they have right now. The 3, I'm a big fan of stables, and you know that, Kevin.
Right.
Like, anybody who knows me knows I'm a stable fan when it comes to professional wrestling. So I like the whole 3 teams of 3, that type of thing. But at the same time, sadly, I will agree with Felix on this. I do believe that John has that type of creative control. He's the cash cow in that company. Whether he's the WWE champion, U.S. champion, whether he has no titles, he's the cash cow for the company. And if he wants something for himself or he wants something for Nikki, he's going to get it one way or another, basically. And it's sad that that's what it is, but it's the politics backstage, and all 3 of us know that politics exist in this business. So I do think that John had a say in it. And he got his way, obviously.
Okay, now you said, speaking of stables and things along that nature, tonight we have Team PCB taking on Team Bad versus Team Bella. Now, last night on NXT, you had Bayley defeating Sasha Banks. After the match, Charlotte came into the ring, and all four of them, Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, all had their hands up with the Four Horsemen logo, and now they've been called the Four Horsewomen. What do you take of that when now you're slapping a title on all four of these as a face, but tonight, a day later, they're all going to be going against each other, some heels, some face?
I think anybody who knows that the four of them, they know that those four came up together in NXT, and they know they're really good friends. You know what? People need to realize that it's not 20 years ago with wrestling. The fourth wall is going to be broken down a lot. And we've seen that multiple times over the last 40 years or so. I'm okay with it. Obviously it reminds you of the whole MSG incident with the Click to a point. But, you know what? I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem with it only for the very reason that I know these four, sooner or later, you might see the four of them be the Four Horsewomen, quote unquote, in the main roster, and you might see them feud with another stable of women, something maybe like the Bellas join forces with a couple people or something along those lines.
I don't know. Felix, how do you feel? Do you feel like this was a total violation of kayfabe, or you just think this was them trying to beef up NXT, not really caring about what's going to go on in 24 hours?
Kayfabe died about 20 years ago, maybe 15 at the very most. They don't even know. If you ask any of the kids nowadays what kayfabe is, they're like, what? No. Honestly, it's two different shows. They base that off of the fact that it's two different stories. They try to keep them separate. Mm-hmm. I've seen them do it not just with the ladies, but with the guys too. When they come jump over to Raw, it's completely different form. They're either going to cheer to food and then whatever they are in NXT. So, yeah, kayfabe doesn't even exist anymore. So,
okay, I agree with that. One other, we said we're going to have the question of the day. I'm actually going to have two questions of the day because one just popped in my head that I remember reading, and I wanted to address that as well. Daniel Bryant, who's currently out of action right now, made a comment regarding WWE merchandise, telling a fan that he should make his own shirt and be creative and come up with his own idea, and he would really love for this idea to really burst into effect with fans, being creative, making their own shirts and wearing them to events. Now, former Intercontinental Champion, former World Champion, is this something that he should have said when merchandise is a very, very large thing in the WWE as far as making money? Felix, we'll start with you.
Right now, honestly, since he's barely on TV, I would say prepare that, put that in the works, make it happen once he's guaranteed a return, because right now he's only on Tough Enough, barely on Total Divas. He's not even out there. How the hell would he even be able to show it off? The idea is it's got relevance to it, but I would worry more about getting back in the ring if he's even going to be able to before the merchandise part of it comes into play. It's not a bad idea. It's not now.
Okay, Nick, what about you?
Yeah, I will agree with Felix for a little while, saying that he shouldn't really worry about the merchandise aspect of it. It's not a bad idea. I think Daniel might be at the same time a little bit bitter because he's not in the ring right now, and we hear all these rumors about Daniel not being cleared by the WWE doctors, although he's been cleared by other doctors. So it could be him being a little bitter as well, even though Daniel's not that type of person. But you really never know, though.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. My whole thing is, you want these wrestlers to relate to kids, and you want them to have conversations with kids, and for him to tell a kid, make your own shirt and show it off at a WWE event, I don't see anything wrong with that. And if WWE winds up disciplining him in any way, I think that sends a very wrong signal to the fan base that the wrestlers aren't allowed to speak freely, off camera. And I just think that's kind of, it's a little bit of a dictatorship.
Yeah, I also like the fact that Daniel's telling these kids to be creative. Use your imagination a little bit. Like everybody in this generation right now, it's everybody sitting in front of a TV, sitting in front of a computer every day. Go out, do something, be productive with their lives. And when he's talking with these kids, it's like be creative. Use something you love. If you like creating something, then go out and create a T-shirt and wear it to an event.
Every wrestling fan at one point has created some sort of costume for themselves, mimicking a professional wrestler, whether it's Halloween or going to an event. You even saw that whole group of wrestlers, fans that dressed up as wrestlers, and they were made to take their costumes off because they were on the hard cam. So, I mean, you see all this going on, and you know what? If you're a fan, regardless of how old you are, be creative. I mean, that's why you have scrapbooking and you have all these other little recreational things you can do. If you're just going to sit home and play video games and watch TV and play on the computer and not take parts in any sports, then you know what? At least be creative and use your mind for something.
I definitely agree with you on that, for sure.
Okay, moving on. This was our original question of the day. Is WWE trying to spitefully erase anything that has to do with CM Punk? And the reason why I asked this, Nikki Bella is about to break AJ Lee's record for the longest reign as Divas Champion, and it's guaranteed to happen because of this SummerSlam's match where she's not defending the title. Now, will WWE allow Seth Rollins to hold the title long enough to erase CM Punk's record for longest reign, well, not longest, but his longest reign as WWE World Champion, and basically push anything that had to do with CM Punk kind of either down in the record books or out of the record books? Felix, I know you're a Punk guy. What's your opinion on that?
I would have to say, as far as the women go, yes. And that's a lot to do with the fact that she's screwing Cena. So he's giving her something back in return. We're gonna make you the number one diva. Beat AJ Lee's record. I think they even beat Michelle McCool's record at one point. Yeah, AJ was the one that held it the longest. So excuse me. As far as Seth Rollins, that's I'm sure. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but will it happen by WrestleMania? Could it even happen after WrestleMania? Could he hold on to it that long? I don't know. I don't think so. Well, because the way they're pushing Brock, I wouldn't be surprised if he got that title again later this year.
It would make sense for Brock to have the title, but don't forget Sheamus has the Money in the Bank contract. But if the record would be erased right before WrestleMania, and don't forget Sheamus has 1 year, not a calendar year from January to December. He has 1 year from Money in the Bank to Money in the Bank. So he's still eligible to cash in after WrestleMania. So you could have Seth Rollins break the record. You could have Sheamus cash in at WrestleMania. And then you could have a Sheamus versus Brock Lesnar after that. So, I mean, all three of that can still happen. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that CM Punk has actually joined the blackballed club of Chyna, Benoit.
It's possible.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Nick, go ahead.
All right. I mean, as for the AJ Lee thing, we were talking about this before, where John sort of stepped in and said, "Hey, no, Nikki needs to stay the champion." If they were trying to erase AJ Lee's title reign, they wouldn't have even contemplated having Charlotte win that title. So they might be. It's a possibility that they might be trying to erase AJ Lee. But like Felix said, when it comes to Punk, which, Kev, anybody who knows me, I'm a huge Punk supporter. Mm-hmm. I don't think they can. I don't think Seth holds on to the title long enough. I really don't. With Brock right on his tail, even though Brock's facing Taker tonight, and maybe continues a little bit of a feud with him or Kane or whoever it may be, And Sheamus has the Money in the Bank. He teased it for the first time a week or so ago. I don't think Seth holds